Pro did his trip here. Finally got around to getting to Daryl Dixon episode 5. Sorry it's been taking me so long to do this, and hopefully I'll be able to do Daryl Dixon episode 6. Probably maybe either today or tomorrow, hopefully, so I can finally at least get caught up, because I know last week was the season finale. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen episode 5. I'm really liking the season of Daryl. The only reason I say that is because Maggie and Negan didn't give me that oomph I wanted for another, spin-off show for the Walking Dead. And I know they've had other shows in Walking Dead. They got Fear of the Walking Dead and something else. I don't know. I think there's like 3 other ones too, but I tried watching them and I just could not get into them. And I watched at least a couple of seasons, so this way it wasn't just like, oh, I didn't like the first season. And it's like, if I didn't like it by at least like the second or third, then I'm not going to like the show. So trying to force yourself to watch something it's not fun. So, like I said, I've been liking this, and, Daryl's always like one of my favorite characters. If he's not one of your favorite characters, then you have not been watching this show, or you have not been watching The Walking Dead. Again, spoiler alert, we'll just get into episode 5. They escape. I thought they escaped France. I guess they didn't, but they're going down this river. Daryl and Laurent, they have the boat captain, I don't know his name. They end up just floating down, and it looks like they're fine and stuff, but again, they stop off for the night and somewhere, and sure enough, boat captain gets killed by a zombie, and then he ends up, I guess he backed up into a telephone pole, and that's what killed him. And so he was like, this is ironic, because my dad was a phone guy or something. I worked for the phone company, so I really didn't feel too bad for this guy. He seemed like a nice guy, though. He was telling him, was like, just go to the, follow the river and keep going till you get to this nest place that's supposed to be where they're going to take care of Laurent. And so, but unfortunately, they end up getting captured. Daryl told Laurent, he's like, dude, just run, and I'll he'll stall him, but didn't work out, and Laurent came back to save Daryl, because they were going to poke his eyes out. I was like, this will be interesting. I'm like, oh, nothing happened. So, Daryl is not kidnapped, but they take him back to the French lady who's in charge of the bad guys. I don't know the name of the whatever. I think her name was Jeanette, I guess is the name of the main bad lady or whatever. You see Elizabeth is being held, I want to say prisoner, by her ex-boyfriend guy. As much as you could say as a prisoner, because, she's being kept, in a nice mansion room and stuff, so it's not too bad. She does get like a letter from somebody on a little piece of paper. Never says what or anything, but she and him are taken to Jeanette's place or whatever. She's going to hold this big, looks like a conference or whatever, but it looks like it's more like a stadium, because she has Daryl sent out, and she's going to have him fight a zombie. And what's really cool is, I guess this is one of those variants. I don't know what kind it is yet. It kind of just ends with him about to fight him, but right before they release the zombie, they shoot him with they inject him with like some kind of they inject him with something, but it looks like, the zombie, like he's just like, gets like super angry, and you can see like whatever the stuff is that they injected into him, it goes like throughout his whole face and everything. So looks like a zombie on steroids. So zomboids? No? Steroids? Roided zombie, I don't know, whatever. So they give Daryl an axe. It's like, hey, good luck. And Laurent is with Elizabeth. I don't know if they're going to be kept prisoner or not. It didn't say, so we'll find out. Then this episode was kind of cool, because it did give Daryl like some backstory. Come on, Neb. I'm doing a show here. You got to be quiet, okay, honey? I know. Nebula's getting all upset about something. I don't know. Be careful, girl. So they show some more backstory about how Daryl got into the water. He apparently was, I guess, in Maine, and his bike ran out of gas, but he met up with some guys who were going to give him gas in exchange for helping them catch some zombies. So he, like, I mean, it was like a whole, like, they gathered a whole mess of people. So it was just like, hey, everybody gather around. All right, here's some rules, you know, you can't fight each other, you know, no stealing. So good luck. And so all they wanted was, I guess, fresh zombies. So if a zombie was like, you know, more than a couple of months old or something like that, or a zombie that wasn't turned at least like a couple months. So they didn't want like really, you know, like, here's a 7 years zombie, whatever. So, you know, Daryl he comes in with like a whole mess. Like all these other guys are bringing in like 5, 6. Daryl comes in and he's got like, you know, 20 or something. Of course, it's Daryl. So he's like, he actually makes a phone call. I say phone call, but he found a radio and he calls Carol and he's like, hey, you know, I'm over here in Maine and I'm just a couple weeks away. Figured I'd give you guys a call, let you know what I'm doing. And Carol says, somebody came back. And goes, what? Who came back? And then it just cuts off. And I'm like, so I'm trying to figure out who came back. That's going to be the big question. And then there's this, not a kid, but there's this guy that Daryl was trying to help him. Like, you know, he says, oh, I got a girl I'm trying to help and blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, let me show you how to cut some wood and blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, he's really desperate. So he's trying to like ask some of the other guys, like, hey, can I help you guys do anything? And, you know, exchange for, I guess, money or something or some of the stuff or whatever. And they're like, sure, come along with us. And so, of course, they kill him. And so they bring back their zombies the next day. And you can see that that kid is dead. And Daryl's like, you killed him. He's got rope burns around his neck. And the guy's like, well, okay, you know, stuff happens. And so Daryl punches the guy. They get into a fight. So the guy is like, all right, you guys are out of here. I told you guys no fighting. So Daryl and this other guy, I guess, I don't want to say arrested, but they're taken to a barge. And they're put into like these containers where other people are experimenting again on zombies. And so they're feeding some of the captured people to zombies. And, of course, Daryl gets away because he's Daryl. And there's a zombie that's actually tied up kind of like a Frankenstein. He's got, like, little bolts all over his body and stuff. And he's running. And he's actually, like, looks like he's really strong, too. And so he takes down one of the other guys. And Daryl's, like, beating him with a, what's that thing called? Fire extinguisher. I don't know why I was beating him with a fire extinguisher, but it's not working. So he drops the boat. That it's like a little, like one of those little, I don't know, dinghies or something or whatever. I don't know. A dinghy boat. Daryl's dinghy. Daryl's dinghy. That's what they're going to call it. So it shows that the whole boat's starting to blow up because Daryl released all the other zombies that were on there so that they would cause some chaos so he could get away. So he jumps into the water after he drops the boat in. So he takes off after that. And that's kind of like how the backstory ends. And then it just shows him, again, about to fight this, you know, variant zombie. And that's just how the episode ends. So, again, it was kind of a quiet episode, not too bad. But, again, you know, usually it's the... I liked how they do, like, the backstories and stuff with the main story. Kind of like how they did Lost. And, like, the first couple seasons of Arrow. So, I mean, again, really good. Liked it. Hopefully, season finale will give us some more answers, and we'll figure that out next time, too. So, I'm Pro Digit Strip. Catch you later, and I'll see you around.